Good day, everybody. My name is Kevin Hogan. I'm the author of The Psychology of Persuasion, The Science of Influence, Invisible Influence, 21 other books that have been translated into 43 languages all around the world. Why? Because of you. Thank you very much. Today, the power of questions, and not just like power like, ooh, let's have some personal power today. I'm talking about like taking a question and utilizing it so that it either changes a life, or you get the result you want, or you cause someone to think about something, or you cement a belief. And we're going to do a series of videos that's going to introduce to you a brand new, absolutely comprehensive course on questions and storytelling that you can take online. But for this series of 7 videos, I want you to get an introduction, a sneak preview. It's not really an introduction because I'm sort of going to bounce around a little bit, but I want you to have some fun with this. But write down this information, because this is going to change how you influence and communicate with people all around you, whether it's your spouse, your boss, people that work for you, your kids. Okay? All right, let's start with this. First fact: questions drive end results. Okay? Questions drive end results. JK Rowling, she used a question to come up with Harry Potter. In fact, most authors, especially when they're working with their editor, their publisher, do have to ask a question like, what would happen if we did this, but in this environment? And then what would happen? Like, what would happen if you did Wagon Train, that old TV show from the 1940s, 1950s, and took it to space instead of doing it in the, in the Western United States? Oh, it turned into Star Trek. That was 50 years ago. That show has been running for 50 years because of a question, just one question. That's the power, the real power of questions. So all growth, all technology, all personal change, pretty much all influence, but not quite, because there is priming and there are a few other things like identity, but pretty much all influence is driven by questions, or the implied questions that are out there. So where do we start? Okay, simple beginning. Before you ask a question, be quiet, listen. Okay, when you're getting ready to ask a question, you're not waiting to talk. Okay, you're not waiting to talk. Waiting to talk is a disaster, and this is what everybody does. I mean, 98, 99, 99.5% of people. I rarely see somebody who just sits there and they listen, and then they ask an incisive, logical, rational, valuable follow-up question that causes you to think, that causes you to come up with an idea. So I want you not to wait to talk. I want you to listen to what the person's saying. I love taking notes. I love everybody to take notes in almost all contexts. It's really hard for me to think of a context where you have to be influential, persuasive, successful in communication in some way, where you won't take notes on something, the back of a bar napkin, in a journal. Don't ever use a computer or your cell phone. Your notes will get lost, and when you want them most, you'll be at 0% battery. No, that doesn't work. So we begin here. We know what the goal that we want to achieve is. We know what the outcome is. So if I'm going to ask you a question, for example, why would you spend $3,000 on a course that teaches you how to ask questions? That's a fair question. I think it's a lot of money myself. So $3,000, you better learn something that you haven't learned before, and how to implement it, and how to make it pay off in your relationships, in the person that you're going to hang out with for the rest of your life, in your children and how they turn out, in what they do when they go to school, and what they do when they become an entrepreneur. I want that investment to be valuable, logical, rational, and it better frickin' work all the time. That's the thing. We're doing a series on modeling coincidentally with this series. And modeling is not about asking the exact same question, but the thought process that goes behind it, like how you're going to get there. You're going to find that same exact thinking process here. The exact words, yes, exact words do matter sometimes, and in fact quite often. And I'm going to give you in the course, we're going to give you an absolute list of the 21 best questions in history that have ever been asked. You're going to learn the questions that changed and rocked the world. period. All right, but for today, I want you to know what the result of the question that you're going to ask is. So for example, say that you were going to ask this young lady out over here. Would you simply say, hey, how are you doing? Really bad question, right? How are most people? Where are you at? You're at a bar, right? Okay, and you're asking this person how she is. How is she? She's at a bar. She's not with somebody else, at least not somebody that she wants to hang out that night with, right? So just assume that she's not doing great. So don't ask a question that's going to get a result where you already know that the result is probably not great, okay? So I like simple questions in situations like this situation. Like if you're in a public place and you want to say hello to somebody, introduce yourself, you can say simple things. Hey, what's going on? What are you doing? What's new here? What's been happening? Where do you get a drink around here? Any kind of a question like that that has an answer that doesn't allow them to judge their own happiness level or their own contentment level. Or if you want to go that route, for example, and you want to judge the contentment level, the person is in this specific location after all. So you can say, so this is a nice place to come, yeah? I'm in the right place? Good, okay. You can do that, okay? And that's actually sort of a pre-qualifying question. If they say yes to that, then you've probably got it very easy for the rest of the night. What if you're selling something? You're selling roofing. So you're going door to door and you're knocking on the doors and you bring me a cell phone video of my roof. You took a little video and a few snapshots and you enlarged them for me. And you say, Kev, do you want to fix this, or do you want the people who buy your house next to give you $25,000 less on your offer? Because I can fix this because of the storm damage. It won't cost you a penny, but you're going to get $25,000 more when you sell. What would you like me to do? Simple as that. He knew precisely what the goal of his question was, what the outcome was that he wanted. I would have to be crazy to say anything other than, yeah, let's do it. That would be obvious, okay? So, and then you want to know, does the question take them where they need to go? Because a lot of times you have to take a person somewhere in space or time and get out of the moment in this exact moment, okay? So in this exact moment, they could have 100 people in the audience with them, okay? And or at the board meeting table, you could have 10 people at the board meeting table. And so you could say, if you were going to communicate to all of the people in this group or all the people in this room, if you were going to tell all of these people how you made the decision that caused this company to turn around and to start being profitable, to get salespeople to start selling and marketers to start marketing for the first time in years, what story would you tell this room? That is an awesome question, right? That's the power of a question. Do you see how that is? As opposed to, hey, do you have any ideas on how we can improve sales and marketing? Let's brainstorm a few cool ideas. No, these are okay, that's fine. I mean, it's cute, all right, it's fine, it's all right. It's like what everybody does. But what you really want to do is take advantage of the person's fear. The fear is behind them. The fear is at the board meeting table, that they will make a mistake. The fear is at their Rolodex in their mind, the people that they have to answer to that aren't in the room, okay? So, when you look into the future, you have implemented this project that I have described to you. How are you going to explain it to them that not only was it worth the implementation, but how to actually implement it? What is the best strategy to teach the people here to do this? Cool? Okay, so this is the beginning, is knowing the outcome that you want from your question and then thinking how you really want to phrase it, utilizing the environmental challenges that are around you. Don't ever ignore the environmental problems that you have. All of these people sitting at the board meeting table, at the boardroom table, they hurt your probability of sales if they don't respond in a neutral or positive way. If it's neutral or positive, you're going to be fine. But if you get one shake of the head this way, okay, you're going to lose. So all you have to do is find out how they will successfully explain something to the salespeople, to the marketers, to the customer service people, to the people that are in administration, to the people that are answering the phones and helping out with technological issues, okay? All right, that's it for this video, guys. Do this today. Practice it 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. Come back, drop me a note, let me know how you did. I'll be excited to hear from you, and I'll see you here next time.